Welcome to Finding Your Glow with Shannon Rollins, and welcome to the Daddy's Girl series, all about relationships. Want to know how to find, create, and maintain a successful relationship? You've come to the right place. Let's listen in. Hi everybody, I'm Shannon Rollins, and this is Finding Your Glow. I want to welcome you to part 2 of our Daddy's Girl series that we're titling The Lists. If it's your first time joining us, I want to welcome you to Finding Your Glow. I'm Shannon Rollins. I'm a spiritual life strategist, which means that I teach you how to tap in and access your most powerful resource, and that's your spirit, to unlock health, wealth, and prosperity in every area that you can be healthy, wealthy, and prosperous. If it's not your first time joining us, I want to welcome you back, friends, and I want to thank you for tuning in again. Like I said, we're on part 2 of our series, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, I want to really encourage you to check that one out. It's called, I'm Still Single. We have laid a lot of groundwork in that video that directly impacts this discussion. So if you haven't seen that one yet, you want to do yourself a favor and check that out. We're going to get right into this because we're super excited. So let's jump into the list. I don't know about anybody else, but I am an absolute consummate list taker. If I'm going to get it done, I've got to write it down. I've got to cross it off the list. And when it came time to find my ideal match, that process was no different from me. I made a list, but I didn't just make one list. I had 3 working lists going of all the criteria of what I believed it would take for the ideal person to come into my life and make me happy. It had to be the right job, the right car. I had all kinds of stuff on there. The right school. He had to be from the right family, the right kind of background, all of those things that really mattered to me at the time. And, honestly, the reason I made those lists is because I wanted to make sure that I could identify clearly what it was that I was looking for in a person. And I'm not knocking lists. I think it's a good idea to do that. But what I found was that when it came right down to it, most of the things that were on my list didn't rank very high on my criteria when I finally got married. What I was looking for was a list that would tell me when I met and found the one. You know the one, the one. And you may not have subscribed to the one ideology, but I did. I did for a long time. I did, in fact, up until the day after my husband asked me to marry him. My husband asked me to marry him on a Monday night, and I was deliriously happy. I went to bed so excited. My mind was clear. I had not a care in the world. Tuesday morning, however, I woke up and my mind was going a million miles an hour, and my spirit was already in full conversation with God. And my overriding question was, is he the one? Is he the one? Like I said, my spirit was already in conversation with God, so I was getting downloaded with instructions of how to make this thing work. But I wasn't listening to that. What I wanted to know was, is he the one? Because I'd been waiting for the one. This is what I heard in my spirit. Whether or not he's the one is your decision. But if you decide to choose him, this is what you have to do to make it work. And then the instructions continued. I was floored. It never occurred to me before that moment that I had a choice in it. I was always just waiting for the one to arrive. And it didn't occur to me that there was no such thing as the one, but that I could choose somebody. And if I chose someone, I could lean in the spirit and ask God to help me, and he would help me with my relationship, whatever relationship I chose to have. And so it changed my whole paradigm and made me look at things completely different from that moment on. And what it told me, above all, is that there is no such thing as the one. There are people that come into our lives at different periods of time, at different segments of our lives, that are there for a time period and for a purpose. And if we allow them into our life, then we have the benefit of having the experience of engaging with them and enjoying their experience and enjoying their life with them as well. If we don't, then we move on and we have another kind of experience. But the idea of there being one and only one road to happiness, that was debunked for me in that first conversation the day after I was asked, will you marry me? Nobody's perfect. And people don't come in little bite-sized chews and little preformed boxes that you can put them in that have ideal criteria written on the side of them, are clearly labeled and say, this is the one for you. Human beings are full of nuances. We're full of imperfections. We're full of wonderful things. We're full of terrible things. We're full of all kinds of things that make us uniquely who we are. And to think that we're going to be able to find an ideal person, a perfect person, based upon a list and a criteria of tangible things that really don't amount to much at the end of the day is setting yourself up for heartbreak, heartache, and undue and unnecessary anxiety, stress, and sometimes even failure. In any successful relationship, like I said in part one, each person who comes to the relationship needs to know who they are, and they need to know what they're looking for and what they bring to the table. When it came down to it and I started to really evaluate what things were most important to me, my list started to shrink. They got smaller and smaller, they got shorter and shorter, and the things and the items on that list began to change. And instead of a particular brand of car, I began putting things on there that mattered to me most, like the kind of integrity that I wanted the person to have, what kind of relationship I wanted him to have with God, what kind of relationship I wanted him to have with his family. These intangible things that make for the overall true picture of a person began rising to the surface and began being more important to me than the tangible things that I thought that were important to me before. Truth is, the car will be out of style in 3 or 4 years. The friends, you won't care about so much in about 5 years. 10 years, you won't give a damn what school that person went to. But what you will care about is, how kind are they? How much do they communicate? How much will they sacrifice for me? Will they be there when the chips are down? Does this person love what I love as much as I love it? You'll want to know, how honest is this person? How much integrity is this person walking in? What you'll really want to know is, how often and how easy is it for them to say, I'm sorry? Tangible things come and go, but it's these intrinsic values that truly make up the heart and value of a person that'll really matter to you at the end of the day and will be the foundation of your successful relationship. For all you list takers out there, I challenge you to take another look at your list and reevaluate them again. Find out if the things that you're valuing most on your list now will really make a difference to you 2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years from now. And if they won't make a difference to you, then I challenge you to scratch those things out and write in things that you do believe will make you very happy and will make sense in a successful relationship. And the last thing is this. Once you whittle down that list and you've got a good final set of criteria of what it's going to take to make you happy, make sure you leave some margin for error in there for the things that you don't know that you need and don't know that you want. Because at the end of the day, after all the lists are written and after all the prayers are prayed, the only voice that really matters is the voice that's coming out of your heart. And that's the only voice that God's really listening to. I'm Shannon Rollins. This is Finding Your Glow. I hope you got a lot out of that. If you've got any questions, you've got any comments, you've got any feedback, make sure you write to us at info@findingyourglow.com and we'll be happy to answer your questions. And also, make sure you follow and subscribe to us on social media. Have an outstanding day. And above all, get out there and find your glow. Want a free 30-minute personal life strategy session with Shannon? Write to us at info@findingyourglow.com and let's get started. Hey friends, make sure you follow us on social media and like and subscribe to stay up to date with our weekly videos.